Have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop talking? This is the story of a man who carried the weight of his thoughts. Once upon a time, in a quiet mountain village, there lived a 28-year-old man named Arjun. From the outside, his life looked perfect: a steady job, a small house, and decent health. But inside, Arjun was drowning in his own thoughts. Every night, his mind replayed everything: mistakes he made, words he shouldn't have said, moments he wished he could change. And when the past wasn't torturing him, the future was: his parents' health, his job, his bills, his loneliness. He often whispered to himself, "It feels like my head is carrying a mountain." One evening, while sitting silently at a tea shop, his friend noticed his tired eyes and said, "Arjun, you should visit the monk who lives near the waterfall. People say he helps those who've lost peace." Arjun hesitated, but pain can make a man desperate. So the next morning, he packed a small bag and began walking up the mountain path. After hours of climbing through mist and forest, he reached a small hut beside a shimmering waterfall. There, an old monk sat washing a clay pot. His movements were slow, calm, like water flowing over stones. Arjun bowed and said, "Master, my mind never rests. I feel trapped inside my own thoughts. I just want peace." The monk smiled gently and said, "Come with me." He picked up an empty basket and handed it to Arjun. "Fill this basket with pebbles," he said. "One for every worry that lives inside your mind." Arjun knelt beside the riverbank. He picked one pebble for his regrets, his mistakes, his failures, his guilt. Then more for his fears: money, aging, uncertainty, loneliness. Soon, the basket was full and heavy. The monk pointed to a tall tree on the hilltop and said, "Now carry this basket and climb up there." Arjun began his climb. The road was uneven, the sun was harsh, and with every step, the basket felt heavier. By the time he reached the top, his breath was short, his body trembling. The monk, who had followed quietly, asked, "How do you feel?" Arjun sighed, exhausted. "It feels like I'm carrying a mountain." The monk nodded slowly. "That basket," he said softly, "is your mind. Every pebble represents a thought, a fear, a regret. You carry them all, every single day. No wonder you feel so tired." Arjun looked at the basket, then down at the valley below. The monk said, "Now, throw one pebble away." Arjun threw one. Now another. He threw more. One by one, the pebbles fell, disappearing into the wind. And with every pebble gone, something inside him began to lighten: the weight, the noise, the endless chatter. When the basket was empty, the monk said, "Peace is not the absence of thoughts, my son. It's the choice not to carry them all. When you learn to let go of what doesn't belong to this moment, your heart becomes free, like the sky." For the first time in years, Arjun stood still. The breeze touched his face, the waterfall sang below, and inside him, silence. He whispered, "Master, now I understand. Peace doesn't come from the world outside. It begins within. When I learn to let go." The monk smiled. As Arjun walked back down the hill, the sky turned golden with sunset. His basket was empty, but his heart, full. He no longer carried the weight of yesterday or the fear of tomorrow. He was finally living in this moment. So remember, peace is not something you find, it's something you uncover. When you finally stop carrying the unnecessary pebbles of life. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need it today. Until next time, stay calm, stay peaceful.